As a hiring manager, what do you advise to your maybe recruiters or the kind of people you work with, or maybe in general, if someone wants to work with as a recruiter, what would you advise? Because GDs are generic, they are just text at the end of the day. So how do you go beyond? One is maybe I can have a conversation with you, try to understand what you need, but again, I might miss out on some points, right? Because after 1 month, if you ask me some pointers from this discussion, maybe I'm not able to recollect because of the human errors and gaps which we have, right? We will not be able to recollect information. So now, can we have some kind of a structure wherein I'm able to get the blueprint of what exactly you want, right? So what would you suggest in that case?
Sure. Good question. So I would suggest, like, in fact, like, I don't think that there's any shortcut to this, right? So you have to spend time with the hiring manager, and please force your hiring managers to answer this question: that what problem are they even trying to solve by hiring for this person, by hiring this PM? So unless you get this answer, so you'll not be able to move forward. You'll not be able to do a good job because you're flying blind. So once you get that answer, at least like initial context, and might be a subjective context, the second question you should try and get an answer to are like, what are the key skill sets that are required for this person to be successful in this job? Please get an answer to that. Even if you're not able to get an answer to the first, please absolutely 100% get an answer to second. So, and I think that should be pretty easy, right? Because, for example, again, to build upon the previous point, so if I'm hiring for the user-facing role, if I'm hiring for the front-end PM, so I'll not hire anyone so who's not good at UX, who probably cannot do probably a 50% job of a UX guy, right? So I'll not hire anyone. If I'm hiring as a tech PM, I'll not hire anyone so who's not good at architecture. So we are not expecting a complete full-blown architecture from them, but they should be able to hold their own in that architecture discussion. If I'm hiring for the data PM, I'll not hire anyone who's not probably like 50% data scientist. So please get a sense of must-have skill sets. So every hiring manager is different. So they would have a different list of these must-have skill sets. Step number one, this is absolutely super important. Step number two, the best of the hiring recruiting partners I've worked with spend a lot of time on pre-filtering candidates. They're having this conversation with the candidates, right? So I'm sure you talk to like 10 people, right? So go beyond. So don't only understand what they have been up to. So understand these skill sets, 3 or 4 or 5 skill sets, and then understand how these people have delivered upon those skill sets in either in their past experience. If you're hiring for freshers, what's their perspective on those skill sets? They might have done some projects where they might have exposed or displayed those skill sets. Best of the recruiting partners pre-filter maybe like 80% of the candidates, right? So those candidates never reach out to me, right? So idea is that if you're sending, I don't want to spend a lot of time on bad candidates. I want to talk to like 5 people, and I want to probably extend an offer to 1 or 2, right? And then obviously like the standard offer to joining ratios take over. So best of the PM, best of the recruiting partners don't send me more than 5 CVs. And the recruiting partners on the other hand, so who send me like 30, right? So I absolutely hate working with those recruiting partners because I'm wasting my time and my team's time on filtering those folks. Uh, the companies who do really well on this pre-filtering, in fact, like are the big names, right? So Google and Facebook. I don't know how many people you have been exposed to, but the first round with the recruiting partner is actually a product round. So it's a pseudo product round, right? So where they're asking you about the questions, about the scenarios, right? Wonderful, beautiful, because you're not really wasting the time of the team in filtering out candidates that anyways wouldn't have made to the final set, right? So idea is that please give us pre-filtered people on the skill sets that the hiring managers indicated are super important for that specific role. If you do these two things right, so you'll do a great job. So you'll because one, it gives you some structure while you're talking to your candidates, potential candidates, right? So it's not only about that blind understanding about what they have been up to, what they have been essentially like. So you can actually like give it some color. You can understand whether this person is a potential fit for the role that you're hiring for. And it is no reflection of that person, right? So it's just a question of fit, right? So that person might be a good fit for some other role. And that's fine, right? So that's absolutely fine. But you know that you're not going to waste your time by putting that person through the cycle for the role for which the fitment is not there. So understanding the skill sets and then spending time understanding the initial fitment, and almost, dare I say, almost acting as the first PM interviewer, right? So I think that's super important. The best of the recruiting partners over the years have done that. So that would be my input. Spend time on that.